Hey guys, check this out. 1963 Oldsmobile 98, which is the big Bertha. I mean, this thing is so big, it has its own gravitational field. Like, I mean, I'm so far away from the camera because we're trying to get the car in. And it's just gigantic, and it's just cool as can be. Now, this is not a customer car. This belongs to Steve, who works for me. And he drives us to work every day, and we keep talking about doing a video on it. So the rack was empty, so here we are. We hauled it in, and I just want to show it to you guys. I just think it's unbelievably cool. He's got it lowered quite a bit. You know, he's got drop spindles in the front, and it's so low that we can't even get the rack under. We're going to have to jack it up to get it on the rack. But yeah, four-door hardtop. It's a neat old patinaed Survivor. It's actually a really solid car. I mean, look at the dash. The dash is just gorgeous. Yeah, it's got the Autronic eye. You know, for the dip in the high beam and low beam, which doesn't work, but you know, it's there. That's on the to-do list. But yeah, I mean, if you even look up at the headliner, kind of duck down, you know, this is circa 1964. It's really cool. But I love the sheer vastness of it. It's just so big. I mean, check out the trunk. Or the boot, as we like to call it in New Zealand. Look at the size. I mean, Steve's ready to go cars and coffee. He's got his tent in here. He's got his 4 fold-out chairs for his family. Just the sheer depth of the trunk. You know, a tote full of bits and pieces, emergency spares, and like, it's just massive. If you emptied that out, like, you could easily get 3 people in there. That's your way. You've got to put 3 people in, but you could. Yeah, it's and these tail lights, just yeah. I mean, don't ever break one, Steve, because I don't know where you'd get one. Because these tail lights are unique to the 98. There's an 88 version of this which looks pretty similar. It's smaller, but the tail lights, there's subtle differences. The tail lights are different. So those tail lights are 98 only. But yeah, I mean, this is original paint. Obviously, it's, you know, it's showing its age, like we all are, right? But yeah, I just think it's just too cool. It's had a few touch-ups. You can see the white's not matching down here. I'll tell you what, if you see it driving around, you can't help but notice it. You know, it's just never. You know, we've had to run further forward on the rack because we can't put it in its normal spot because there'll just be like 4 foot extra hanging over the back and try and tip the lift over. But yeah, just the grille, quad headlights, loads of chrome. Let's have a look under here. So this is the 398 still?
394.
394 Oldsmobile. Factory air, that works. You know, it's got, yeah, all the vacuum's still working on that controls all the doors in the AC. Steve's upgraded it to a dual master, a little brake booster there to help slow it down. But yeah, I mean, just move in and take a little pan around that. I mean, it's just awesome. But this is really, it would be interesting to know its kind of life history because it's just not been screwed with really much at all. Yeah, original old air cleaner. Yeah, a lot of these ones you come across, all this AC stuff's been thrown out because it didn't work and people didn't want it. But yeah, it's all there, man. And 95% of it works, which is even better yet. Even just the hood is so big, they can't have it latched in the middle like most hoods are. They've actually got a twin latching system here. Because if you try and latch it in the middle, it's just waving. Look at this detail for the shape in the hood. Like, I don't know how hard that was to stamp or where it's joined and made, but I mean, you guys know I'm a bodywork guy, so this to me is like, I know how hard that is to stamp that out. and I'm glad I don't have to fix that if it was crunched. Yeah, this is really cool. Well, we're going to throw it up in the air. Steve's never had it up on a rack. How long have you had this thing?
Had the car about 4 years.
4 years and never been in the air, so it's about due, I think. So let's have a look, and we can all have a surprise or a treat or whatever's going to. Hopefully, there's no dead critters up in there. See how we go. Okay, so we got this thing in the air, and I think I'm even more in love with it now than I was before. I might have to start paying Steve less, so he's got no money and he has to sell it to me. Seriously though, I mean, look at the bright work on this thing. This is cast. And down through here, this is it's all cast. It's not just stamped. That's stamped stainless up here, but this is all cast. The cost of that it would have been huge. And then look up in here, like the wheelhouse on this thing, like there's enough room up in there for a small family of people. It's just wild. And Steve pointed out this factory hubcaps. Now, if you take a close look, there's no valve stem, right? How do you put the valve stem? How do you put air in it? What you do is you grab onto this little spinner effect and you pull it and out it pops. And you reach in to your valve stem and put some air in it. And these are special Oldsmobile only clips that are like $200 a set to hold your hubcap on. Steve found that one out the hard way, but I've never seen anything like that before. I just think that is too cool. Just don't get your fingers behind it. Right, but that's cool. Underneath, yeah, this is your massive floor pan. Kind of looks a bit like a fuel tank, but that's actually the floor pan here, the sheer size of it. The width, like I'm stretching there. Fuel tank actually tucks in just between the diff housing and the well in the trunk. So that's up in here. Got a little bit of a leak going on here, but Steve's getting to that. Oldsmobile rear axle. It's not a Chevy like a GM 12 bolt or 10 bolt. This is Oldsmobile. It's just got the removable pumpkin in it, so that's unique to Oldsmobile. Now, we also noticed, if you come all the way around, these lower suspension arms, they're two-piece. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then when you come around and look up under, it's all these holes, and these are adjustable. The holes are all slightly offset. So you choose the hole that you want to get the rear axle forward and back, to get the thing tracking correctly and not crabbing. So yeah, they're not just evenly spaced and you just move it one hole. They're offset slightly so you can move it, a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch or 5/16 of an inch, depending which holes you select. So it's almost infinitely adjustable. But I've never seen anything like that. But I just thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, the other cool thing with this car is it's got all its original floors. There's really no rust under here. There's a tiny bit in the luggage well area, but just a very small, just a quarter-size piece. But you see some busy. He's replaced lots of fuel lines and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a daily driver. He just drives it like this, and I think I need it. Again, all the bottom of the rockers, they're all just as they were, original paint on it. It's had a little bit of some sort of a repair here. I think it's a repair. They've got a weld here and a weld here. Honestly, not too sure what that's about. Maybe it's just had that section replaced. There is a factory spot weld on it there. I'm not sure what that's about, but it's a little bit interesting. It's not like that on the other side. So we may never know what that one's about, but that's all right. Moving forward, look at this. This is an Oldsmobile only transmission. It's called a Roto 10. Now, if you see, there's no cross member, right? It's actually supported here. You've got a mount each side here, and up the front, just behind the crank pulley, there is a single mount there, and the two either side here give it the stability, and you've got this whole transmission just hanging off the back. it's long. That's why you managed to get a car the size with the one-piece drive shaft. The other odd thing with these transmissions, they have no torque converter. It's a direct drive in there. Apparently there is some, I haven't seen it, but there's some clutch-looking type arrangement in there that goes basically from the crank into the transmission. The bell housing is actually part of the block. The transmission finishes here. So you got the main body of the trans and a big plate here, and then this is actually the block, is the engine block, and the flywheel or flex plate runs completely inside the block, which makes it a little difficult for transmission swaps. Now apparently the street nickname for these transmissions was a Slim Jim. Really don't know what that's about, but hopefully, one of you guys can shed some light on that. Yeah. But this is just a super solid. You really would, I don't know how you find a better one of these. Steve's upgraded it to disc brakes. It's got the Fat Man lowered spindles that give it that real low look. It's got the vented slotted rotors so that at least he can slow this gargantuan down. Yeah, what a neat, cool old car. Yeah, sheer size of the bumper. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this car as much as I am, because I'm enamoured with it. And Uncle Tony, he's seen it too. We're probably going to do a video, me and Tony and Steve. We're going to go cruising one night in this big old battleship. And, we'll bring the video cameras and bring you guys along. But we just need to go cruising downtown Nashville or something like that in this big old girl. That would be a ton of fun. So, yeah, there you go. 1963 Oldsmobile 98. In the raw, undoctored. Just a great old survivor. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Take care.